I'm gonna run a sound check on this one. Testing 1, 2. Testing. Testing 1, 2. Testing. Testing 1, 2. Testing. Hey, I'm live. Hey, I'm live. Hey, I'm live. All right, I'm setting up my bags. If y'all can hear me on a couple holes, you're going to need the big topper if you got a good one in the Guardian. I'm going to use that on 9. All right, I'm setting up my bags. If y'all can hear me on a couple holes. May or may not use the Thor. May or may not use the Thor. And most everything else, I'll use the Pock. Most everything else, I'll use the Pock. Sound coming through all right? Testing sound. How's the sound coming? Anybody care to comment on the sound? All right, let's run a test again. Testing on the sound. How's that? And make sure you subscribe to the page if you haven't. I'm trying to build it up too, please. I was going to give it a minute to see if anybody else wants Round the Expert. I got it posted in all the chats. Travis, if you could run over to the chats and all of them and just say that Clash is going live in about 2 minutes on Expert, in case anybody else wants in. What's up, Naj? All right, we've only got a couple on here. Travis, did you go to chat and tell everybody it was going to go live if they wanted to watch Expert? All they got to do is hit the link, but I figure we got a lot of folks playing Expert. Yes, I've done one to fine tune everything. I think I know I can pull an 11. I'm gonna shoot for a 12. Can't drive number 7. Trying to let my screen catch up. Can y'all hear me still, or did it stop? All right, I think the screen's caught up. Everybody on here? I just had to refresh Omlet, and I think everything's good. Number 3 on this one, too, is tricky. Like it was in Masters, got to come in from the right. I think the only club I got there is a big Dawg. So that was going to be a little worky. The rest of them wasn't much to them. And for those of you watching, I am currently playing in GCC 4 players with Miss Lori Poss as the president. And a fine job she does.
Perfect shot.
Alright, on this one I definitely want to use a POC and a sniper. I'd like to cut the wind down a hair. So I'm going to go with the cyber ball. Still gives me plenty of room to work in. It's going to give me plenty of room to work in with the sniper on coming in. I'm going to run my yellow right. I'm going to split the rough, and I'm going to put a hair bit of left curl on it just because the wind's going the other direction. Definitely don't want to roll into the right rough. Not that I was worried about it anyway. But I like to play it safe. See, without that little bit of left curl, it could have potentially rolled into that right rough. I want to avoid that for sure. You could still get there with the Nirvana, but there's no chance for an eagle. And this one,
Perfect shot.
Seems to funnel a little bit right. On the second shot.
Nice on.
So let's see. Maximum up there, so I'm a little bit past minimum. I definitely want to roll the ball to the hole. But I dang sure don't want to funnel back down. So I'm going to go with 6. I'm going to just take a hair off. Make sure I don't clip that trap.
Perfect shot.
Yeah. Probably didn't need a power 4 ball in that one. I'm probably going to actually change to like a Win 5 power 2. Or a Win 4 power 2, like a Valkyrie or something. I didn't need that much on the second shot. That put me almost in between clubs and I couldn't fine tune it.
Great shot. Birdie.
So on that hole, if you've got a bunch of balls to choose from, I'd probably go with, if you're fine, if you have as long as you have a power 2. That's going to get you far enough down. The sniper's fine, so a power 2. Definitely don't want to play shootouts. All right, this one I'm going to use a quarterback. If I remember right, it's got a, I don't remember from my other round. I think I used a quarterback and a Win 5 ball. Let me know if it came back. Did it cut off? All right, there we go. Everybody back? It should be back. If it cuts off on your end, all you gotta do is close the app and reopen it. I'm sure YouTube's bogged down right now. So if you see that it does it, just close the app and reopen it. It'll pick back up on the live stream. All right. Somebody tell Travis in chat just to close the YouTube app and reopen it and it'll reset. Please. All right, I'm going to make sure I'm at the minimum. 3 backspin, full right. That's pretty close. I'm going to put just a touch of right curl.
Perfect shot.
Yeah.
Nice on.
All right, I'm going to change that when we play this weekend. I'm going to go 2 backspins. I'm going to go 2 backspins on that one. Let it ride up the hill a little bit and get closer to the hole. That 3 backspin slowed it down too much.
Great shot. Birdie.
Yeah, Carol Baskin told me to put 3 backspins on that shot. I should have known. She's a traitor. Yeah, Carol Baskin told me to put 3 backspins on that shot. I should have known. She's a traitor.
Perfect shot.
Oops.
Nice on.
All right, on this one, I played it earlier, jacked it up. Let's go this route, see if I can get it to roll down a little further. I watched your master round, George. It was incredible. I'm going to go full top, 3 right. I want to land on the left-hand side.
Perfect shot.
I mean the right-hand side, I'm sorry. See if I can get a little roll out. There we go, it's a good roll out. That's definitely the shot. Longest driver you got with a Zerker. That should, I hope, with the big dog, let me maybe even put a 1 or 2 back spins. If I can catch that funnel. Yeah, with 2 back spins, I should be able to catch. I should be able to catch. Let's play it a little safer. I should be able to catch.
Perfect shot.
Ah. That's all right. I played it too safe. I shouldn't have moved over that extra 2 rings. So my first setup was perfect. It would have rolled down the funnel. So next time I will just play it a normal adjustment for the big dog plus 10%. I will not add that extra, or else I could add some extra curl, but I was probably only 2 rings from rolling down that funnel towards the pin.
Perfect shot.
And I might, since I can get, now that I know I can get that close, I'm probably going to swap to the Guardian on the weekend round, knowing that I can get that far down with the Thor 6.
Perfect shot.
Know that I can get down with a Thor 6 that far. I'm going to swap to a Guardian. I'm going to swap to a Guardian just for accuracy purposes. So a Thor 6, if you have one. If not, I'd go with the Extra Mile 8, all you got. And then I would take the Guardian in versus the big dog, unless you have like a Cat 6 or something, but the Guardian's got good accuracy. So I'm going to swap that to the Guardian on the weekend round. And I'll get my accuracy in line and should be able to funnel that straight down to the pin, or close. Travis, I did have the big topper in the bag, but I swapped because I wanted the extra distance since I've got a Thor 6. Travis, I did have the big topper in the bag, but I swapped. What I'm going to do on this one, the rough bump's fine on this hole. But there's a little room for error, so I'm going to just knock the crap out of it, and then I'm going to play it safe on the second shot.
Great shot.
That's fine. Even though it rolled into the rough, that's 430 yards. I can stop that Nirvana easy. That's fine. Even though it rolled into the rough, that's 430 yards. I can stop that Nirvana easy. And I'm not going to try to rough bump their Nirvana. There's no point in taking a risk on this hole. If you can catch a runner with the Nirvana and run it across the green, I'm just going to put full backspin on it, set it up by the hole, get my birdie, and get out. I'm just going to put full backspin on it, set it up by the hole, get my birdie, and get out.
Perfect shot.
All right, I adjusted the echo. Is that a little better? So I'm at about 70% of the distance. So to play it safe on this club, that's going to be about a 4-ring adjustment. But I got plenty of backspin. I'm even going to play it past the hole. I'm not going to risk it because I know it's going to stop. I'm only going to adjust it 3 rings. I just do not want to risk on this hole
Great shot.
doing anything that's going.
Nice on.
That was just the safest way possible to play that. Even I could have gone 4 rings and come closer to the pin, but still, there was no point in even risking tipping that rough, catching that rough. And this is an easy sniper. If you just kind of lay up a little bit in this hole, this is an easy shot right here. It's just not a risk I'm willing to take in a tournament. Because even on a rough bump, I know George had an opponent earlier that made his. But this is not a high percentage rough bump shot. Because that rough is at a slope. And even Tommy will tell you that coming off a slope on a rough bump,
Perfect
you don't
shot.
really have a 100% idea of where it's going after it hits. And so he's fine. I mean,
Nice
it's a very
out.
low risk shot, but I'm perfectly happy knocking the mess out of it and coming in where I'm sitting, getting my birdie and getting off.
Birdie.
Now, I might contemplate on that hole swapping to like a power 2 wind 4, which I know will put me at Nirvana. And put me to probably about a 6.5 mile an hour wind. That one I can easily rough bump. So just depending on how I'm feeling, what the bracket looks like, I might do that on the weekend on the rough bump to go for an eagle, because with it being a 9-hole tournament, all the scores are going to be clustered together, so the difference in like a 12 and a 13 is big. And this one in Expo, I played my round earlier to get a warm up. There's not really a gimme hole, so if you want an extra eagle somewhere, you're just going to have to be a good shot. Definitely can't drive number 7, nowhere close. This one's almost an impossible hole-in-one. I'm going to play it safe again with the quarterback and a wind 5 ball. George has changed for the better. He's really learned to take his risk and reward to the next level, and I applaud him for those efforts. It's one reason he just pulled off a 13 in Masters. Best round I've seen today, other than one guy in my bracket that pulled off a 14. No, he pulled off a 15. It's ridiculous. Now see, this guy's using a Thor. I'm not really sure why, with this hole having a tailwind. I'm going to use the quarterback and a good wind ball.
Perfect shot.
That right there is exactly why I'm not going to use the Thor. He served zero purpose there trying to do that. I got my quarterback. I got my little cracking ball. We'll push it out there. And if you notice, I'm playing this to the right. I want to be safe to make sure that I don't have to hop that.
Perfect shot.
I do not want to have to hop right over that trap. I want to come around it. So as you can see, that's about as good as I'm going to get on this hole. I very rarely see a hole-in-one. But the reason I played it out to the right, I knew that curl would bring it back in. It's too many times I've seen people try to hop over that little inlet, and if you catch that rough, you're stuck. And the island is safe on this one because of the winds, but again, when I risk the reward versus the chances, I know I can get 2-3 feet doing what I did. Not gonna chance it.
Birdie.
Now the weekend might be a different story, but I'm just trying to get out of here with a 12, get at the top of the bracket, and then this hole I'll consider the island for the hole-in-one.
Birdie.
And I probably will use a back again. I'm talking about number, whatever number it was, 2, 1. I might go to that rough bump with a higher wind ball using the sniper. We'll just see what the scores are looking like. All right, this one's going to be a hook, or slice. I guess a slice is what you're going to call it. I've got a POC 5 on this account. A POC 4 or a POC 5 all the way up will work. Anything less than a 4 gets a little risky. But I'm just going to use your normal Kingmaker. And I think I've got a left to right crosswind if I remember. So if that's the case, you just got to be a little careful to watch that trap down there. But I think I'm pretty safe from that trap, only having an APOC 5 here. Slice and dice, that's right. So that gives me a 9. I'm going to split my top spin even, but since I've got a 9, I'm going to come on out. You notice I'm going to put my blue, I'm going to put my blue at that first tree right there. Because with that 9, you don't want to risk running down in that trap. And so I was way away from the trap on that one. But still, with a 9, I'm not going to risk it. Next time, I'm going to move it over. I don't like being right in between those trees, even though that's not a problem. I'm going to move it down probably about 4 to 5 rings, because I had plenty of clearance from that trap. I just wasn't sure how close I was going to get. So I could roll on down past the pine trees and be either probably in a thorn range and get a good chance for an albie there. So I will adjust that down more towards where this guy is with an apocalypse. Instead of going off that tree, I'm going to go off that pink bush. See, he used the Thor, clip the top of the tree. He can probably still get there. I wouldn't recommend anything on this. Now you could probably, the rock you could probably curl it around maybe. Let's see. I'm gonna check my gaps. Nope. Again, I'm not taking the risk. No point in taking any risk here. I know that it's going that way, so I'm going to pull it back. I'm taking all risk out of the equation on this shot.
Great shot.
The chance of me getting an albie there was about slim to none through those trees. And anytime I see that red where I have to move around through the trees, it makes me a little nervous. So again, there was going to be no albatross to be had there, but when I adjust down about 5 rings on the weekend, I'll be past the pine trees, and hopefully I can chip that thorn right over for an albatross, or at least an attempt at it. But I just didn't have anything to gain there by trying to go straight through those trees for an albatross on this hole, especially looking at the card I've already looked at. There's a lot of 10s and 11s coming in, so I think a 12 or a 13 will come in at the top of this bracket, which in this weekend's round of 24 or 25, well, it's only 9 holes, so shoot, a 12 and a 13 or a 12 and a 13 is going to wind up being good.
Nice on.
I forgot it was just 9 holes even on the weekend, so shoot, it's going to be so clustered together that your opening round could be the difference in 20, 25 spots easily. All right. Clean round so far. Yeah, George, that was one reason I forfeited earlier on my round. I hope that 8 knocks me out. It should. Because after watching y'all's rounds and looking at Florian shots, I think if we can get on Master, I think if we can get 7 dialed in, we could pull a 13. This one I'm gonna again I'm gonna play it safe. I'm gonna try to set myself up for a good sniper shot. So let's see, I want to cut the wind down.
Great shot.
That's cutting it a little close, but it still should roll out okay. And with that shot, that's what I wanted to do. That's either going to put me at a real short sniper, probably the Goliath, which I'm fine with the Goliath. What I like to do on this hole on my second shot to avoid clipping that right rough is I'm going to play it a little left of the hole coming in and use a little bit of curl and try to curl it right back into the hole. I've seen a lot of people hug the right rough on this hole trying to get the eagle, and they clip that rough and you're stuck. So I've learned to kind of play it out safe just a hair and then curl it in a little bit and see if I can get lucky on one, or if not, real close.
Perfect shot.
I don't ever try to roll it to the pin on this hole either. It's a downhill slope after it that puts way too much risk into the equation. And with my Win 4 ball here, yeah, I can say I've got this rough bump, but I do not like that slope, if that's what you're talking about. So what I'm going to do here, I'm close to the max, and it's going to stop full backspin, so I want to run it. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to put, if I can get my ball, dang it. I put that little bit of, my screen wouldn't let me grab my ball. I put that little bit of right curl on it. Yeah.
Nice on.
All right, next time I'm going to run it. My dadgum screen, I guess it's slick from all the play, and I had to wipe it down real quick. But anyway, that one, what I'm gonna do is, that was close. I had full backspin. I'm gonna do the same setup on the weekend. I'm just gonna run the guide a hair more past the hole. Yeah, no, I'm not going to attempt any rough bump on this hole. I've made that shot I just had right there a bunch of times. It's just with full backspin. I need to get my hop a little better, so I'm going to run it just a little bit past the hole than what I just did, and I should have that one on the money. I did exactly 1/2 ring right curl after I made my adjustment.
Nice on. Birdie.
Has anybody else got an expert round that they're going to be playing? always tell people on mini,
Birdie.
try to play up a notch. If you normally play pro, you really got nothing to lose going up to expert, because as long as you get in the first day, you're in. So if you'll play it safe, don't take risks. Depending on how you're ranked, if you're ranked expert, you're probably going to get in with an 11. Because there's a lot of people that are going to jack up number 3. So I think an 11 and expert is a solid in. And I think there's also a lot of people that are going to jack up number 9. All right, on this one, it's personal choice. I'm going to go with the Thor and a win 5, because from the middle tee box. And I don't think it's going to put me... I don't think it's going to put me in an iron range, but just in case it does, I'm going to put the Guardian in the back. So I got my 2 good backspin clubs. I'm going to fly the green on this one. A lot of people come into from the left on this one, but on this hole, if you've got a Thor 6 or a 5, I'm going to set my guide right at that thing.
Perfect shot.
I don't see any point in not trying to fly the hole on this one. That was a little too hot. Should have put full backspin. And I left a bar short off the backspin. But that's safe. You can actually stop it on this hole too with a quarterback. If it doesn't swap drivers on you, the quarterback's got enough, or the rocket. The rocket or the quarterback, you might have to use a kingmaker or something to get to the green, but on that hole, even a rocket would have plenty of backspin to stop it. Hop over's fine.
Shot.
People like to do it, but like I said, in the practice round, I'm taking no risk. So in the final round, like I said, I'll add another bar of backspin where I don't roll it out.
Birdie.
But yeah, if you normally play pro, on a mini, I'd go up a notch and try to play expert as long as you're ranked expert. Only difference is the wins. Tee box is the same. And none of the holes so far have been to where I feel like that they're not doable by any decent pro player.
Perfect shot. Birdie.
Yeah, Lowe said he used a quarterback 9 and a kingmaker and almost dropped it. So obviously there's good. Did you hop over Lowe, or did you fly the green? If you picked that up low, I'm not sure if you heard me or not. I was just curious. On that last hole, you said a quarterback. Did you hop over, or did you fly the green with the 9? Yep. Okay. So you did fly over the trap. Good. I wasn't sure if a 9 would stop it. I figured it would be close. All right. On this one, I'm gonna play the big topper. I'm gonna play the big topper on this one. I want a good rollout, and I have a feeling it's gonna get far enough down where that 180 that I've got on the Guardian is going to be enough to get there, even if I have to overpower it a little bit. I'm kind of flying by my pants on this one because earlier I used a extra mile and wound up in the bunker. So I'm going to full overpower a big topper. With this time, I'm going to use the Zerker instead of a Kingmaker. I'm just kind of changing things around based off of my first round. And if what I remember on the winds is right, I didn't write anything down. I should have. But I have a feeling that after I jacked it up over in Bus Stop, which is another one of our glorious clans. Yeah, see, I'm pushing it out. So I got plenty of room there to where I don't have to worry about catching that rough. Or catching that sand. So that put me 442, the reason I put the Guardian in the bag on that one is 442. Anything over about 425 on this hole. Obviously the big dog or the cat will get you there for sure, but the reason I put the Guardian in the bag, because I'm not real sure, I can't remember the wind on the second shot, but if it's a tailwind, obviously I can stop it if I need to. It's got a 90% accuracy, so I can deal with that as well. So this is another one of those holes. I could set up for a rough bump, but not being sure how far out I was going to be. I was nervous to leave the sniper in the bag because I get real nervous if I have to overpower a rough bump. So again, once I know here in just a second what the wind is, if I see that I could have rough bumped a sniper from 440, whatever I was out, 445, I could swap to that on the weekend. And see, no. So that would have been a dangerous move. I remember the guide on this one's not real good. So what I'm going to do to play this safe is to make sure I get it up on the green. I'm only going to move it 5 rings, and I know it's going to go out further. But I'm going to bring it back in with a fair amount of curl.
Great shot.
I wish I wouldn't have hit great right. And see, that's nothing to write home about. That's so far from an eagle. I mean, from an albatross. But again, I wanted to get my 12, get out of here. So definitely going to stick with that setup. I don't think I can get far enough down to rough bump. And now this guy's going to try to probably do a rough bump hop, which is possible. I'm not a big fan of that shot either. But I probably played that one too safe. But the reason I didn't do the full adjustment, which would have been about 8 rings, is because I wanted to keep that left rough totally out of the equation. So I knew if I put left curl on it and let the wind carry it out there, that my left curl would bring it back in enough. I probably will next time adjust a hair more so it can roll in without having such a long putt. Yeah, see that all kind of stuff can go wrong there. He's safe. I mean, that's still not the easiest shot in the world on that slope. So that was a pretty, nothing to brag about on that round. 12, expert, I'll take it. Like I said, on expert this time, there's really not a lot of areas to get one to drop. So I'll probably rough bump that one hole early on to try to get an extra drop. I'll probably, on the power, I guess that was number 6, I probably will adjust that power slice a little bit to get it on down for the thorn. But other than that, there's not a lot of gimmies in expert in this, so I'm happy with a 12. If I can get lucky and pull one out, pull a 12 here and a 13 this weekend, that ought to be a top 25 finish, I would think. I do not see a lot of 14s coming in. So, either way, thank y'all for watching. Hope my opponent here makes his shot. Hope that helped a little bit, and good luck to y'all that are going to give it a run.
Eagle.
Play it safe. And go Conquerors. Got representation from Excalibur, Bus Stop, 4 players here. Glad to see everybody. Let's give this man a chest. That should... Yeah, see, that's putting us... Oh, yeah. So I'll take that all day long. Solid score, good round. Thank y'all for watching. Go Dogs.